Hello and welcome to Arsenal against West Ham United pre-match build-up. We're live, which means it's an hour and 5 minutes till kick-off, which means it's 5 minutes till the lineup's out. However, if the news in at Hammers Chat HQ is correct, there is one change to the lineup and there is a formation change as well. But we will wait for confirmation prior to that. We don't want to talk about rumours, we leave that for the other videos. Gonzo, earlier on today though, West Brom took on Everton with a certain Grady Diangana hitting what could only be described as a belter and somewhat annoyed the West Ham fans before we'd even kicked the ball.
I bet it did, Geo. I bet it did. I presume the sound is okay.
Yeah, we're all good. Keep going.
Fantastic. It really wound me up. I've not been privy to what's been on websites or comments or social media, but I bet everyone was kicking right off. Because I tell you what, it made me very grumpy. It's one of those things you should probably forget and get over. But I couldn't. I can't. I think every time he scores a goal, I'm going to get the ump. That goal came, not a goal. That referee ruined that game, by the way. Okay, there's something wrong with the fella. The fella's got a screw loose. Mike Dean, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm absolutely power crazy. Ridiculous. The sooner he stops refereeing, the better, quite frankly. Thought he ruined the game. See, he sent Bilic off as well. But yeah, that was a dagger to the heart. He took the goal with absolute composure, and I thought, oh yes, that is just what we need. And I hope every time he does that, whoever's made the decision at our club actually hangs their head in shame, quite frankly, because it was a terrible, terrible decision.
Yeah, I have to agree. And I know people, or some West Ham fans, or even non-West Ham fans, say, get over it. I don't want to get over it. Well, I do want to get over it, but I can't. Because it's exactly what we're lacking at the minute. I would love to see Diangana in our team. And, you know, you look at the way he was playing, he was running at players, taking players on, and none of our players were doing that against Newcastle, so it's difficult to get over it and stuff. But I don't suppose you watched the Man United game. You've been watching the Man United game, have you?
Yeah,
Did you watch it before? Patrice,
I watched the first 20 minutes, and
it's actually about what happened off pitch. Patrice Evans, maybe perhaps.
I saw it. Yeah. I saw it about the Moyes.
Yeah, for those that don't know, there's always been a rumour in football that the reason Zaha didn't fit in at Old Trafford under Dave Moyes is because he slept with his daughter, allegedly. However, Patrice Evans before the game was talking about Zaha and said, "Oh, he's an electric player. He was really good in pre-season." But then he had an affair with David Moyes' daughter. Things for West Ham before we even kicked off. It's not been a good day for West Ham and people connected to West Ham.
So I love the way it was Kelly Dalglish, wasn't it? I love the way she tried to backtrack. dig. Oh yeah, absolutely. And I do love the way he just called it an affair. There's no romance about it. There was no love or no. It was just an affair.
I can't wait till Crystal Palace play us and Zaha puts in a 10 out of 10 performance, so I can come on here and say, well, it's not the first Moyes to be screwed by Zaha, is it?
Oh, there we go.
We've got the jokes already. It's tappings anyway. But anyway, until the Man United game, an entertaining day of football in the Premier League with the Everton game finishing 5-2, the Leeds Fulham game finishing 4-3, lots of goals, lots of attacking football. Man U's come on, and to be fair, Crystal Palace have been attacking.
Good, aren't they?
The stage is set for West Ham to continue the attacking trend. But before we get the lineups going, so how are you feeling? Any excitement to get into you? That no.
No, thanks for answering. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Actually, to be fair, I don't go into these things necessarily expecting a thumping, although we probably deserve one. I don't know, it's all right. I'm looking forward to it. It's just been like I said when we did the breakfast show this morning. It's just a long old day. I just would have rather have been on earlier, but you know, I've busied myself, not thought about it an awful lot, and you know, I know I've probably not watched as much of it as you. I did watch the first game. I had the Leeds game on as well and saw Costa got a couple, didn't they, and saw that, and they're playing in a really, really good way. I watched this game start off, so it's got me in the mood for football today.
I can confirm the rumours lineup is correct. I'll go through the starting 11s, but as soon as I start reading out, you're going to twig as to what's going on here. Fabianski continues in goal. We're switching to a back three with a back three of Diop, Ogbonna and Creswell. The wing backs are Fredericks and Masuaku. Then it's sort of unknown how we line up beyond that 5, which is what we're going to discuss here. But we've got Rice, Souček, Fornals, Bowen and Antonio. So I think there's 2 options. I think we're either sort of going 3 in the middle of Rice, Souček and Fornals with Antonio and Bowen as out and out strikers, or what I predict is what he's doing here. I think it's going to be 5-4-1 essentially. I see it as a 5-4-1 with Fornals and Bowen on the sides and Antonio up front on his own. That's how I look at it. How do you think we're going to start up? Well, actually, let's get your reaction first. The lineup in general before we get into formation talk.
I hate 3 or 5 at the back under Moyes. I think he's mistaken. That being said, maybe he had to do something. Maybe he's got to address the weakness in the defence. Call me old-fashioned. Maybe he should have signed a player. But anyway, so bearing in mind he wants to keep people like Cresswell in the team and so on and so forth, then he's going to try and pack the defence. Probably not a bad team to do it against because they're going to be swashbuckling. But I think it sets the wrong mindset. I do think there have been a lot of games under Moyes where we've attacked really well. We've got lots of shots, we've had lots of corners, and we've taken the game to them. I don't like a Moyes team when we do this because we tend to sit back and soak up the pressure, and we're not very good at it. In fact, I would argue the case that we're actually better at attacking than defending. So I think stick to what you're good at in football and life. But why we choose to do this, I don't know. Maybe it works. If it works, then it's a stroke of genius, and we're giving him 10 out of 10 in the ratings afterwards. But that's already got me worried. What do I think was your second question? How do I think we'll line up? I think you'll see Bowen and Fornals tucked more inside. I don't think they'll be as wide as they normally are. So that will, in fact, I was going to say it will help Fornals. I think it may well help both of them for different reasons. Fornals will be able to play the ball through. I think it'll take up a slightly.
So do you think it's like a 3-4-3, which is what Arsenal played last week? Do you think we're just matching them for their formation now?
I do actually, but with Antonio more advanced, I think it'll be fluid. I say fluid, make us sound like Ajax or something. But I do think Bowen will get closer to Antonio, and I do think Fornals will drop back a little bit to try and link up the passing play.
Yeah, I think so. I think when we're defending too, I think it'll switch to 5-4-1 very quickly. I think we'll see Bowen and Fornals out on the touchline running after their wing backs if you want. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest with you. To an extent, I'm pleased he's changing formation. Just perhaps not the formation I would have liked to have seen, but at least he's trying something different. But I don't think the problem against Newcastle was necessarily the formation. I think the problem was the personnel and where he put certain players. And I think he's almost addressed the wrong thing here tonight. I think we're still playing Aaron Creswell. It doesn't matter if he's left back or left centre back. He's still in horrendous form going back to last season. We're still playing Fornals out of position. So I'm not too. We've still got someone up front that's not a striker. So we've already got sort of still, I don't know, the personnel that let us down last week remain in the team. The only one change in terms of players is forced upon him with the injury. I'm not convinced Noble's injured. I think I was saying in bet for Geo Gonzo earlier, I think Moyes does this so he can drop Mark Noble and not embarrass Mark Noble essentially. He takes a difficult decision out of his hands. But that's why I'm surprised he's going 3 at the back. I think he almost had a free hit tonight. He could have put Lanzini in there and went for it, and if someone said, well, hang on a minute, that didn't work, he could say, well, I was missing Mark Noble, my captain was out, I had to put someone in. I think now what he's done is actually he's put the pressure on himself a little bit here. So instead of having a free hit, because he's changed the formation completely, if it goes wrong, I think he's very much to blame. And he's going to look a little bit silly. So I think he's just really put himself under more pressure than necessary. Right, we'll run through the bench in the Arsenal team, and we'll have to discuss about the game overall. So West Ham's bench tonight is Randolph, Yarmolenko, Balbuena, Aller, Johnson, Anderson, Lanzini, and no Josh Cullen. Josh Cullen does not feature on the bench tonight. I knew he wouldn't, Gonzo. It's too predictable. He'd have to drop Anderson or Lanzini. I mean, I struggle to see. We've got Lanzini, Anderson, Aller, and Yarmolenko. I struggle to see why we need all those 4 players on there. I don't know why we need them all. And we've got no sentiment. If Rice gets injured, what's he going to do?
I don't know, but he's not learning his lesson. Look, I support Moyes. I've been very supportive of him. He needs to watch himself actually, because Ngakia came out today with his reasons for leaving, and he did want to leave. That was clear, and he gave the reason a few people suggested, that he wasn't confident of nailing down the first team place. He didn't see himself as part of the plans. Well, it's up to Moyes to take that sort of comment on board. Grady Diangana came to him and said, I'd like to know that I'm featuring your plans. I'd like to know that I'm going to play. We can't have another player thinking who looks promising. He looks to be a good player, Cullen, and ready to go now, ready to play. Another player thinking, well, I'm going to have to leave because West Ham won't play me. This is a nasty, nasty little trend.
You can say the same about Ben Johnson as well. I'm aware he's on the bench, but Ben Johnson could be looking at post-lockdown form saying, hang on a minute, why was I not starting the season here? Why was I not playing against Newcastle? I've done well against Charlton, and Aaron Creswell was absolutely dreadful, yet he's still starting and I'm still on the bench. What's going on here? I just think we played really good against Charlton. I'm aware it's League One, but after you get beat like we did against Newcastle, there needs to be repercussions and changes, and no one's been rewarded for the Charlton game. I know you're racing Masuaku, but that's not a reward. That's so he can change tactics. Masuaku wasn't amazing. Yes. There was two players really good against Charlton, Cullen and Yarmolenko. One's on the bench and one's not even on the bench.
And Haller scored 2 goals and he's not playing either. Yeah,
right, the Arsenal 11. Two changes, from the top of my head from their win against Fulham. Leno is in goal. They've got a back three of Kieran Tierney, Gabriel and Rob Holding, which is the same. They've got a midfield 4 with 2 changes in it. They've got Saka on the left, Xhaka and Cabellos in the middle, and Bellerin on the right. So 2 changes. El Nene and Maitland-Niles are out. Saka and Cabellos are in. Then their front 3 remains the same of Aubameyang, Lacazette and Willian. You looked at our team and thought, ooh, could be a tough night. Now you hear their team and think, could be a tough night.
Yeah, well, I thought Cabellos was outstanding when he came on the other day, and we discussed Saka as well, didn't we? I was surprised that he'd played Maitland-Niles there. Well, but obviously they won the game and that's fine. But obviously, I do feel there's a better player coming in. In fact, I feel there's 2 better players coming in. They were pretty good the other day, Arsenal. I think they'll be better today because I think the 2 players coming in are better than the 2 players that have been dropped. So there you go. Not much more to say about that, really. It's funny, actually. You started the video by saying you're looking forward to it, and I gave a long-winded answer, which basically summarised as yes. And now I see our team and their team, and now I'm not looking forward to it as much. I just think we're going to sit back and not attack.
The Arsenal bench is Macy, that's a goalkeeper. El Nene, Kolasinac, Pepe, Nketiah, David Luiz, and Maitland-Niles. It's a decent enough bench, but there's nothing on there that overly troubles me. I know Pepe is 72 million, but I'm more afraid of what they've got on the pitch and stuff. Looking at their team, I think, like you said, I think they've improved their team. I think it's telling, actually. Arteta went to Fulham and played El Nene and Xhaka in there. He's playing West Ham and he's taken off the defensive midfielder and putting an attacking centre midfielder in there. And that would insinuate that... No, it does. It insinuates he's more confident of winning tonight.
He's more worried about Fulham than us.
I find it hard not to read anything else than that from it. I think Saka's going to cause us a bit of trouble down that left side. I think Willian will be licking his lips coming up against Aaron Creswell there. He likes to feign it and shift onto his other foot and stuff like that. He does that. Aaron Creswell's going to be doing a 180, wondering where the ball's gone. Aubameyang's going to have Diop in the book in the first half. He gets a run on Diop, that's it. Diop will wipe him out. We know he will. I've got a funny feeling, Gonzo. I don't know why. Prior to the lineups, I was more fearful of Newcastle than I was tonight. Looking at lineups, I'm a bit disappointed that... Do you know if he'd started Alier over possibly even Bowen, actually? Do you know if he'd dropped Bowen and put Alier in there and it was 3-5-2, I would have said, alright, I can see what you're doing here. You've got the wing backs to supply Antonio and Alier in the air. Both of them are fantastic in there. I get what you're doing here. You're getting the ball out and getting in. But I look at that and I'm thinking, well, I'm not really sure what you're doing here, because Fornals and Bowen, your wing backs, I've always seen it. If you're going to play wing backs, it's about width, it's about stretching the pitch, getting your width from your wing backs and getting the ball in and stuff. We can't really do that with Fornals and Bowen in the box, can we? I know Souček will be trying to get in there as well, but then suddenly what are you doing? Leaving Declan Rice outside the box on his own? So it's going to be interesting to how we cover Thomas Souček running into the box tonight. I'm not sure. I'm just not that... I look at that team, I just see it as... We're playing for a 0-0 already. I just get that sense, and it comes back to my lack of confidence in the managers changing the game as the game goes on. There'll only be one manager trying to do substitutions to win it, and it won't be our one. So my optimism somewhat waned since seeing the starting 11, Gonzo.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Try and be as positive as you can until the match actually starts and we get some evidence before our eyes. I do suspect you just mentioned Fornals in the box, which was gave the impression to be Antonio Bowen and Fornals in the box waiting for balls to come in. I mean, I'd take that at the moment. You know, 3 players in the box and us attacking and doing that. That would be something. You also mentioned Souček getting up and getting into the box. That'd be great. Look, if we're going to make the most of this, then realistically, we've got to get some corners. We've got to get some corners. We're going to shoot. We have to shoot. So let's at least show some attacking intent. Otherwise, that 0-0 could very much end up a 2-0 loss, and we'll just be looking very blunt.
I think the good thing is we have pace on our width tonight. Fredericks and Masuaku. We played the game right, and we can get the ball out wide to them enough. They will cause Bellerin and Saka issues going forward. The problem is Bellerin and Saka are both also quick, so we're not up against slow fullbacks. Neither of them are great at crossing, Masuaku and Fredericks. I think they're both capable of a good cross, but they don't do it consistently enough. So we've almost got to play the law of averages, in my opinion, tonight. And I just want to see cross after cross after cross after cross. And eventually, one will come good, and you've got to take that opportunity. Even the bad ones, I don't see a problem with bad crosses, providing they're hitting the 18-yarder. It's up to the attacker to then do something clever to get on the end of it. Defender might put out for a corner or something. I want to see us getting the ball wide and just getting in. Even if we're hitting in low and hard because of Bowen and Fernandez's lack of height, let's just put pressure on this back. I am not convinced in Arsenal's back 3. Not convinced. I think they will give us opportunities tonight. I think they're a good team, but I do think, like I said to you, I'm pleased we're playing Arsenal at the start of the first 19 games and not halfway through once Arteta's got them up and running. I think there's a vulnerability there in that Arsenal team. And I don't know, I think we're going to get a goal tonight, Gonzo. You know, I do think we're going to score. I'm not saying we're going to come away with anything, but time to do our bet, though. Bet time.
Oh.
Got my fiver. Cheeky fiver. For you that don't know what we're ready to do, we're ready to put an impulse bet together, and if it wins, we give the winnings to someone in the live chat. Upon completion of said bet, we will tell you a phrase. You must put that phrase in the live chat to enter, and usually it's a funny... We try and make it a funny phrase. But what are you thinking? What are you thinking for the bet? I'm putting in Diop card. Okay, I'm putting that in.
Yeah. Well, that was, you mentioned that in the thing. I take it you can't do possession and,
no,
and that
you can't,
sort of
no.
things. We're not, I think they'll have a lot more possession. I think they'll have corners. I know we should have them, but if you can put something in there, or Arsenal get corners.
How many? Give me a number.
They will.
We'll go. Yeah,
5.
We'll go 5. We'll go 5. At least 5 corners. Right, come on, someone else. Anyone to score a goal?
Well, Aubameyang will, but he's not. You don't get good odds on him, are you? So, what about to give people something to get their teeth into? What about Granit Xhaka scoring a goal?
Oh, yeah, but
because he does shoot.
I'd like to win them something potentially. Well, let's put Aubameyang in first to see what it comes out at. Okay, because I'm going to put in both teams to score. That's on my head.
Yeah.
That's 10-1. So we do need something else in there. Let me just check.
Hold on. Who's going to score first? I'll tell you what. Do that. Arsenal to score first.
Crikey, that's not going to do much.
Isn't it not? Okay, well, I don't know. I'm not a betting man, am I? I'm not a betting man. Having said that, I've had a little bet today. I think I might be doing all right. I had Palace to beat Man U, actually. In fact, I'm doing all right. I think I've got all the results today. The trouble is I've got West Ham to beat us.
I about to say, Arsenal, Palace are 3-1 up now.
Yeah.
Right, hang on. Let me just compile this little thing. It might be a bit of a tricky bet, but I'm.
And Antonio goals. It could, if that makes any
will
difference.
Really boost. That'll really boost it. Take that out. Okay, here we go. This is our bet. So here's the bet. Gonzo thinking of the phase right now. We've got Diop to be carded. 5 or more Arsenal corners. Arsenal to get a booking in the second half. Any player. Mikel Antonio to score at any time in the match. And Aubameyang to score at any time in the match. 200 quid. Right, so if that happens,
wow, that's 200
smackaroonies for someone in the live chat to enter to win the bet giveaway should it win. Gonzo, what have they got to say in the live chat?
Well, you may well all be noticing that my sound quality is not quite as good as it was. As Geo will know, the reason I was rummaging around, I'd lost my headphones, I'd lost my microphone, but as luck would have it, during this video now, this live broadcast, I found me muff. So, the phrase is, I found me muff.
I've found me muff. Okay? So in the live chat, if you type, I found me muff, don't worry, we're not too particular with the grammar and so on. So if there's a few spelling mistakes, we'll punish you. I found me muff. Put in a live chat. If that bet wins, we're going to give one of you 200 quid. Right, Gonzo, please stop playing your muff. We're going to get banned from YouTube if you continue doing stuff like that. Saying that, if West Ham win tonight, I think there'll be a few female West Ham fans playing with their muff later.
Hey, bro, I might join
them. These shows always go downhill. Always go downhill. And we haven't even kicked off.
How many people? I mean, it's the chat. It's the chat going. Brr, 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 with people saying.
There's a lot of people saying, I found me muff. And some people are saying, Chris Boy said, show us your muff.
I just did.
I'm going to decline. I mean, I appreciate the offer, Chris, but I'm going to decline that. Anyway, can I get your final thoughts, Gonzo? Not your final score prediction as yet. Your final thoughts on the lineups in the game.
Disappointing he's gone defensive. You alluded to it. You are not convinced with Arsenal's defence. I would have liked David Moyes to have not been convinced with Arsenal's defence and think, actually, I'm going to go for this lot. I'm going to put these guys on the back foot. Maybe a little bit too much of a love in between old pals in Arteta and Moyes. A little bit too much respect. That being said, he'll want to get one over on him. I hope they've been working really hard on the training ground this week because they are, what with Cullum, what with the formation, what with the personnel chosen, there can be a lot of sticks to beat David Moyes if he gets this one wrong. I hope he gets it right, obviously.
When you expect nothing, it's hard to be disappointed, as the old saying goes. And tonight I'm expecting nothing. I'm hopeful. I've just got a funny feeling. I think we will score. I'm disappointed. I would have felt a lot better if Ali had scored. It's funny, just that one change would have made me feel a lot better because I think their defence there to get got at. I'm not sure we're setting up in the right way to really go at them. I think we're playing a bit overcautious. I saw a few errors in that Arsenal team against Fulham last week. I thought the 3-0 deserved win for Arsenal, but I thought it sort of didn't tell a true story, if you like. I thought Fulham were unlucky to not have scored whilst it was 0-0. If we can get out and get at them, I think we've got a chance. I just don't have faith in us getting out and getting at them. And the problem is, as longer as the game goes on and it's 0-0, most teams and most fans get more optimistic. I actually dread it more because I think I know what's coming. The substitutions are coming, or lack of substitutions are coming.
Oh, no.
I do. I just think it's every game now. The Newcastle 0-0 at half time. I thought, can't get excited now because we need a sub, and the sub ain't going to happen. Whereas Bruce is probably thinking, I need a sub. I'm going to go make a sub. I think the same will be told tonight. I think I'll be sitting on here pulling my hair about lack of substitutions again. Can I get your score prediction, please?
Yeah, I think we'll lose 2-0.
Well, I hope not. You just told me Antonio would score and I put in the bet.
Well, I don't know. I guess I'm making this stuff up as I go along, quite frankly.
You just scammed
I
me.
put in my bet for West Ham.
You just scammed my Bet365 account. You just robbed me of a fiver.
I've not robbed it. I'm not getting it, am I?
Anyway.
I've not robbed anything.
Anyway, I'm going to go 3-1 Arsenal. I'm probably because I'm stubborn more than anything. That's what I said in the preview. I'm going to go 3-1 Arsenal. What a depressing time it is, isn't it? But
Hey, Happy days. Thanks for tuning in.
Tom and Charlie are away to go live in 1 minute with a live watch along. So the jury is starting now, all the way through to full time. Then myself and Gonzo will be back. If you've enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. Much appreciated. Subscribe if you're new around here. We'll catch you at full time.